The Pokemon franchise has always looked for ways they can improve the games, especially a key component to the games themselves, battles. With the unrefined, buggy games that were Red and Blue, Game Freak sought to improve their battle mechanics starting with Generation 2, where they introduced the concept of held items. And even today, held items have stuck with us as a core element when it comes to comprising competitive teams. Then came Generation 3, which introduced double battles, another core element of what would make the standard format for VGC competition. Gen 4 gave us wireless online play, so we could finally battle our friends and kick their butts. But were these really battle gimmicks back then? Come Generation 5, which introduced triple and rotation battles. These didn't last for too long. Neither did the Megas in Gen 6, or even Z Crystals in Gen 7. These are what the fans all call battle gimmicks. They have been a staple to the Pokemon franchise for the past 10 years now, and they continue to do so with the newer titles such as Sword and Shield with Dynamaxing, and Legends Arceus with the attack styles. With Gen 9 around the corner, it's no stranger to this trend as we are being introduced to the new battle gimmick known as Terrastalizing? Man, they really couldn't have come up with an easier name to pronounce. We're slowly being introduced to this gimmick through the many trailers we have seen, and the reception of the gimmick is, well, a little mixed. The competitive scene is, of course, excited to try out new ways to do battles, but at the same time, they're scared this might break the game and be unbalanced. Well, today, we're going to talk about why I think the Terrastalizing phenomenon is going to change everything about Scarlet and Violet games. Now, Terrastalizing was first introduced back in August this year, revealing that this Terra phenomenon gives the Pokemon a cool fancy-smancy hat, intimidating the Pokemon without fashion drip. No, but seriously, this crown that dons the head of your Pokemon changes the Pokemon's type to its Terra type. Every Pokemon can have one of the 18 types allowed for weird and unique strategies to be made to counter your opponent. You're able to Terrastalize one Pokemon per battle, and then afterwards you must recharge your Terra Orb, the new gadget that allows you to Terrastalize in the first place. And to get these unique Terra-type Pokemon, you can find them in the wild or with the return of raid battles. Join your friends and take on the new and improved raiding system. This battle gimmick is going to change a lot for the Pokemon game, by taking a core concept of the Pokemon series that was there day one, that being types, and throwing it on its head is going to change how we perceive Pokemon battles. No more are the days of clicking a button to nuke opposing Pokemon, and no more are the days of giant kaiju Pokemon wrestling in a stadium filled with innocent spectators. Like, seriously, who thought this was a good idea? But, just like Megas, this actually feels like what Pokemon is about. Instead of the past two entries, Megas brought us a new evolution we can attain through a deep connection with our Pokemon. And now with Terrastalizing, we can now change the type of our Pokemon. The crystal designs aren't really my thing, but the concept is a good idea and a fresh start that Pokemon needs as a whole. The community has been so divided these past few years over poor games being released. Long-term die-hard fans actually refusing to buy the game. But this time, these Terrastalizing Pokemon are going to bring new life to the franchise and bring in new audiences to play and enjoy the game. Even the competitive scene is in high spirits for this new battle gimmick. After 3 years of the same old kaiju Pokemon, there's a new girl in town, and her name is Terrasta Pokemon. The competitive scene has been sorely lacking these past few years, and maybe it's because of COVID, but the metas and team comps we saw back at Worlds this year were boring and uninspired. Out of the top 10 teams, they used accumulation of the same 22 Pokemon. 9 out of the 10 teams used Incineroar on their team. Now, I understand that you have to follow the meta in order to have a good team, but there's no uniqueness out of the 22 Pokemon used. There would be 3 unique teams, but the potential of Terrastalizing brings a whole new light on the competitive scene. The ability to change your Pokemon's type into one of the 18 available types creates hundreds of different strategies and team comps to choose from. Even Megas were a little flat in the competitive scene since you know which Pokemon were able to Mega Evolve or not. Now there are 18 different types that any of the 6 Pokemon in your team can Terrastalize into. Pokemon is no longer a game of checkers, but now a game of chess. Now, when the game fully releases, metas will be formed and some Pokemon will shine with certain Terra types, but this still leaves a lot of potential for experimentation and freedom to make teams that are unique to you. Pokemon is all about the bonds with your Pokemon. And if your favorite Pokemon is a bad matchup because of its typing, just change it. Or better yet, boost its original type. There are lots of strategies to choose from with this new gimmick. People are looking at the Levitate and Wonder Guard abilities to create Pokemon with zero to few weaknesses. But even then, giving a Pokemon a type which has a lot of resistances could be even better. Take a normal type for example, like Blissey or Chansey. They're only weak to fighting types, but why not add a couple more weaknesses in exchange for a ton of new resistances by changing it to Steel? Or even Fairy, making it only weak to Poison and Steel, which aren't very common attacking types. There are endless strategies that you can come up with, but there is one strategy that is circulating that would be troublesome for the competitive scene. Stab. When a Bulbasaur uses a move such as Razor Leaf, which is a grass type, the damage output receives a 1.5 times boost to its damage. This is called Stab. What we've seen in the trailer is that Pokemon are able to terrestrialize into their own type, giving it an additional stab boost. This boost will then become 2 times, which is the equivalent of 2 sword dances. This can be extremely dangerous in the right circumstances. Meta Pokemon such as Torkoal, which is a returning Pokemon seen in the trailers, has the move Eruption, which is already an insanely powerful move that hits both targets. On top of that, Torkoal can set up Sunny with its ability Drought, which empowers all fire-type moves and weakens water types. With this Stab boost, Weather boost, and Terra boost, this is all cumulative to an attack that quite possibly can wipe out most Pokemon in the OU format. Now, Game Freak might ban certain Terra-type Pokemon, but for now, we may have to deal with the dangerous, offensive threats such as Torkoal. But even with all the competitive stuff, Terrestrial Pokemon will bring a new challenge for completionists and shiny hunters. Imagine flexing to your friends you have all 18 Terra types of a shiny Magikarp. Your friends will either think you're a god amongst men, or just a no-life with way too much free time. Either way, this will bring new excitement to the shiny hunting community as well as the completionists who will want to collect all 18 types of every Pokemon. Game Freak is even expanding gym leader teams to include Terra-type Pokemon, such as a Sudowoodo, a tree Pokemon being turned into a grass type for the grass gym. It's an ingenious and funny idea. The gym challenges have always felt a little flat, with not much thought into strategy. Rohan was a great gym challenge, giving him a weather theme on top of his dragon typing, but now we'll get to see gym leaders use Terrasta Pokemon as an actual strategy. And unlike the other gimmicks such as Megas, Z-Crystals, and Dynamax, Terrasta Pokemon won't make the game too easy, which is what has been plaguing these games for so long. These gimmicks were designed to make the game more fun and interesting, revamp the old battle system, but they ruin the campaign experience itself. I mean, seriously, you're giving a Mega Lucario at the 3rd gym in X and Y. Gym leaders should have been able to use Megas in Gen 6 to make for a harder and more fun experience, such as gym leaders using Dynamax Pokemon in Sword and Shield. But even then, it felt too easy. With Terrasta Pokemon, it won't empower them in any obscene way. It won't be a nuke button that you press once per battle like Z-Crystal. It is a legitimate strategy to use to sway the tide of battle in your favor. It brings back the strategy that core Pokemon games have been sorely lacking for years. Instead of spamming the strongest move, trainers will actually have a need to strategize, even just a little bit. I think Game Freak has finally heard our rants and dissatisfaction with the newer games and gave us a balanced gimmick which will change the game for the better. Or so we hope. I'm sure gamers will find a way to break the game with Terrasta Pokemon, but for now we look upon the horizon optimistically as the games are set to release in less than a month. Thanks for making it this far in the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know down in the comments your thoughts on the Terrasta Pokemon. Will it be a hit or miss? Should Game Freak have just stuck with Megas? Let us know. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.